Listen up, my friend, life is a battlefield and you're standing in the middle of it, aren't you? The weight of the world is crushing. The job that's sucking the life out of you, the bills piling up like a mountain you can't climb, the heartbreak that keeps you awake, staring into the abyss of a sleepless night, wondering if you'll ever feel whole again. Maybe it's the sting of betrayal that's left you raw, like an open wound nobody else can see. What's your name? Where are you right now, sitting in a quiet room, nursing a pain that's too heavy to name? Or pushing through a chaotic life that feels like it's slipping through your fingers? What's the heaviest burden you're carrying today? Is it a memory of someone who promised to love you but broke your trust? God sees you, my friend, every tear you've cried in secret, every silent prayer you've whispered, every moment you felt abandoned or unworthy. He's calling you right now with a voice that shakes the heavens to rise above the pain, to stand firm in his unyielding strength, to reclaim the divine purpose he wove into your soul before the stars were set in the sky. Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5 proclaims, "Before I formed you in the womb I knew you, before you were born I set you apart." You are not here by accident, you are chosen, appointed, destined for greatness by the Creator himself. But let me hit you with a truth that cuts through the noise. Not every betrayal deserves your forgiveness. Some wounds cut so deep they leave scars on your soul, scars no amount of apologies can heal. Some betrayals aren't just mistakes, they're deliberate choices to break your heart, to shatter your trust, to rob you of the peace God ordained for you. If you're wrestling, questioning whether to forgive those who stabbed you in the back, let me open your eyes today with God's unshakable truth. There are betrayals you should never forgive, not because you're heartless, not because you're bitter, but because some people don't deserve a second chance to destroy the masterpiece God is crafting in you. So grab hold of this moment, because if you've ever been hurt, used, lied to, or left behind, this message is for you. God is calling you to protect your heart, to stand tall in his purpose, to walk away from those who dishonor his plan for your life. What's stopping you from stepping into his freedom? What's the lie you're believing that's keeping you chained? Let's walk this journey together, unpack these 7 betrayals, and discover the strength God's placed within you to rise above. There's no betrayal more devastating than deception. My friend, it's a dagger to the soul, cloaked in a smile, a poison dressed up as love. When someone looks you in the eye and lies, they're not just bending the truth, they're breaking the very foundation of trust that holds a relationship together, the sacred trust God calls us to uphold as his children. Lies aren't accidents. They're choices, calculated, selfish choices that place their desires above your heart, above the love you've poured out, above the divine bond God created for you to cherish. Deception isn't just about lying with words, it's about hiding the truth, twisting reality, crafting a false world that makes you believe in something that was never real. Like a mirage in a desert that promises water but leaves you parched. It's the betrayal that makes you question everything, your instincts, your memories, your judgment, even the still, small voice of God whispering in your soul. It's when someone convinces you you're paranoid for doubting them, even though your gut, guided by the Holy Spirit, is screaming that something's wrong, that the truth is being buried under their manipulation, like a treasure hidden from God's light. Deception doesn't just break your trust in them, it makes you doubt yourself, the very self God fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm chapter 139 verse 14 affirms, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." When you start doubting that, you lose a piece of who God created you to be, a child of purpose, a vessel of his light, a beacon of his truth. When someone deceives you, they're not just telling a lie, they're living a lie, building a house of cards around you, fragile and false, designed to keep you trapped in their manipulation while God calls you to walk in his clarity. The longer you stay in that house, the harder it is to hear his voice, to see the path he's laid before you, to embrace the freedom he's promised. The hardest part about being deceived isn't just discovering the lie, it's realizing how long you lived in the illusion, how long you trusted someone who never deserved it, How many moments you spent believing in a mirage that never existed, while God was calling you to step into His truth? Some people will look you in the eyes and swear they love you while betraying you behind your back, whispering promises to God while sowing seeds of deceit in the shadows. They'll make vows with no intention of keeping them, planting betrayal while you're on your knees praying for their heart, believing they're walking with you in God's light. And the worst part, when you catch them, they won't feel guilty for what they did. They'll only feel bad they got caught, shedding crocodile tears to keep you tethered, manipulating you back into their web. That's when you see deception isn't just a lie, it's a complete lack of respect for your heart, your mind, your soul, the soul God crafted with divine purpose. It's them choosing themselves every time at your expense, trampling the sacred trust God commands us to honor, defying His call to speak the truth in love. Ephesians 4:15. Deception isn't always loud, my friend. It's not always a bold-faced lie screamed in defiance. Sometimes it's a quiet manipulation, a subtle poison seeping into your spirit, like a slow leak that drowns you before you notice. It's someone withholding the truth because they know you'd walk away if you saw the whole picture, if you knew the secrets they hide in the shadows. It's someone pretending to be one thing, loyal, loving, godly, while secretly being another, a stranger to God's truth, a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's gaslighting, making you feel like you're overreacting when your intuition, anointed by the Holy Spirit, is screaming for you to wake up. What's your name, my friend? What lies are you carrying right now? What's that feeling in your gut telling you? Is there someone in your life making you doubt what you know is true? God's whispering, don't ignore it. Once someone proves they can lie to you, they can do it again. Because deception isn't a mistake, it's a mindset, a way of living some have perfected, defying God's command for honesty. They know how to cry on command, how to play the victim, how to twist the truth just enough to make you doubt what you saw with your own eyes, to make you question the reality God wants you to embrace. I remember a time in my own life years ago when I trusted someone close, thought they were my brother, my rock. They smiled, said all the right things, but behind my back they were weaving a web of lies, undermining me, betraying the bond we built. When the truth came out, it wasn't just the lie that hurt, it was the realization that I'd been blind to it, that I ignored the whispers God placed in my heart. It shook me, made me question my judgment, but it also taught me God's truth never fails. His Spirit will always guide you if you listen. That's why you can't ignore the signs. Your intuition is God's compass guiding you through the fog of lies. You don't need proof to know something's off. You don't need evidence to trust the Spirit's nudge, because your soul, anointed by God, recognizes when someone's playing games with your heart. The longer you ignore it, the more damage it does, because deception is toxic. It poisons everything it touches, like a venom spreading through your spirit, tainting your ability to trust the good people God sends, building walls around your heart, making you question the love and purpose He destined for you. It dims the light He placed in you, making you doubt the calling He's written on your soul. You can't afford to tolerate deception, because the moment you let it stay, you invite more, like opening the door to a thief who keeps stealing. The moment you let someone lie without consequences, they learn they can get away with it. And they will again and again, defying God's call to walk in truth. But God has better for you, my friend, far better. There are people out there who will love you with complete honesty, who won't make you doubt their words or actions, who honor God's truth in their heart, reflecting His faithfulness. You deserve someone whose words align with their deeds, who doesn't need to be caught because they live in God's light, who respects you enough to give you the truth, even when it's hard. Don't waste your time forgiving a liar who won't change. They're not seeking God's redemption, not walking in His transformation. Don't exhaust your spirit trying to fix someone comfortable with a double life, someone who mocks God's call to integrity. Don't lower your standards to keep someone who doesn't respect you enough to be honest. Because a relationship built on deception is a house built on sand. It will always collapse, leaving you buried in the rubble. Will you let it destroy what God is building in you, or will you rise in His strength? Trust his plan, choose truth, choose freedom, choose the peace he promises, because you are worthy of a love that reflects his heart, a love that stands firm in his truth. There's no pain like the sting of betrayal, my friend, and nothing cuts deeper than infidelity. It's a wound that pierces the heart, a violation of the sacred bond God created for love, a betrayal that echoes through your soul like a thunderclap. It's not just breaking a commitment, it's shattering a bond, destroying trust, leaving scars that may never fully heal, scars that only God's grace can soothe, like a balm on a wound that refuses to close. When someone you love chooses to be unfaithful, they don't just betray you in the moment, they betray every memory, every promise, every late-night prayer where you ask God to protect your love, to guard the covenant you built together in his name. They betray the version of you that believed in them, fought for them, saw a future blessed by God's hand, a future where love was a reflection of his faithfulness. Infidelity isn't just physical betrayal, it's emotional destruction, a wound to the soul God crafted for love, a direct defiance of his design for fidelity and commitment. It's realizing the person you gave your heart to was sharing pieces of themselves with someone else while you were on your knees praying for their fidelity, believing they were walking with you in God's light. While you stayed loyal, they made choices that disrespected everything you built together under God's covenant. Choices that spat in the face of his sacred plan. And the worst part, they knew it would hurt you. They knew what they were doing. They just didn't care enough to stop, turning their back on God's call to honor love, choosing fleeting pleasure over eternal purpose. Cheating isn't an accident, it's a series of deliberate choices, each one a step away from God's truth, to text back, to flirt, to cross boundaries, to entertain temptation, to defy the sacred vows God holds dear. It's risking everything God gave you, a love meant to mirror his faithfulness, for nothing but a momentary thrill that fades like smoke. The moment someone lets another into a space meant for you alone, they've betrayed you, spitting in the face of God's design, trampling the covenant he blessed. It doesn't matter if it was one night or a long affair, betrayal isn't measured in time. It's measured in disrespect, in the pain it inflicts on the heart God crafted, in the way it shatters the sanctuary of love he intended. The pain is unbearable because infidelity makes you question your worth. Was I not enough? Not attractive enough? Not loving enough? It's a lie from the enemy, trying to dim the light God, trying to make you forget who you are in his eyes. Hosea chapter 2 verse 19 declares, I will betroth you to me forever. I will betroth you in righteousness and justice, in love and compassion. God's love for you is unshakable, eternal, unwavering. Don't let their failure convince you otherwise. When someone truly loves you, they don't risk losing you. They don't trade God's gift of love for fleeting pleasures that vanish like dust. They don't disrespect you behind your back and act like nothing happened, pretending to walk in God's light while living in darkness. Cheating is a choice, not a mistake, and when someone makes that choice, they've decided your love, your trust, your devotion isn't worth protecting, that God's plan for your heart isn't worth honoring. Infidelity doesn't just ruin relationships, it ruins people, turning love into paranoia, trust into suspicion, like a storm tearing through the sanctuary God built in your heart. It makes you question everyone who comes after, wondering if they'll betray you too, casting a shadow over the future God has planned. It burdens you with pain that wasn't yours to carry while they move on, justifying their actions, leaving you with nightmares, flashbacks, and self-doubt that only God's healing can mend. Some will apologize, cry, beg, call it a mistake, but if they were sorry, they wouldn't have done it. If they respected you, they wouldn't have needed an apology. Because those who honor God's love don't break you, don't defy his design. Their excuses it didn't mean anything are hollow when they risk losing you, risk shattering the bond God blessed. A moment of weakness. No, it was selfishness to prioritize their desires over God's plan, over the heart he entrusted to them. A one-time thing. If they weren't caught, would it have stopped? Cheating is premeditated betrayal, choosing their desires over God's purpose for your heart. over the covenant he ordained. What's breaking your heart today, my friend? Are you carrying the weight of infidelity? The pain of a love that was supposed to be sacred? God's calling you to release it, to let his love restore you, to heal the wounds only he can touch. You deserve better, a love so strong, so unshakable that cheating isn't an option. A love that reflects God's faithfulness, that stands firm in his truth. You deserve a bond that doesn't make you compete, that doesn't make you feel disposable, that honors the covenant God designed, a love that mirrors his eternal commitment. So let them go, my friend. Let them carry the weight of their sin, the consequences of defying God's plan. Let them live with losing something real for something temporary, something that could never compare to the love God destined for you. One day they'll look back and regret destroying what God blessed, what he meant to flourish. And when that day comes, you won't be waiting, you'll be walking in God's purpose, surrounded by those who know what loyalty means, who reflect the steadfast love of the Father. You'll find a love that lifts you up, that honors the heart God created, that walks with you in his light. Don't hold on to the pain, release it to God, and let him guide you to the peace and purpose he's promised. Respect is the cornerstone of every relationship God blesses, my friend. It's the bedrock on which love, trust, and unity stand. Without it, trust crumbles, love fades, and what you thought was a secure bond becomes fragile threads, ready to snap like a brittle branch in a winter storm. When someone betrays you with disrespect, it cuts deep into your soul, violating the dignity God gave you, the worth he declared when he formed you in his image. It's a disregard for everything you've done, given, sacrificed, all that you are as a child of the King, a masterpiece of his creation. Disrespect comes in many forms, but it always stings like a slap to the soul, a wound that echoes with the lie that you're not enough. It's the way they belittle you, talk down to you, dismiss your feelings, as if they don't matter to God or you, as if your heart isn't precious in his sight. It's disregarding your boundaries, making decisions without you, acting like your thoughts, opinions, and needs are irrelevant, ignoring God's call to honor one another as his creation, to do to others as you would have them do to you. Luke 6:31. Disrespect isn't accidental, it's a choice, a declaration that you don't matter, a defiance of God's command to love and respect his children. It makes you question if the person you've loved, given your all to, ever valued you in God's eyes, ever saw the light he placed in you to shine for his glory. It's not always loud or dramatic, sometimes it's quiet, insidious like a slow poison seeping into your spirit, eroding your confidence one drop at a time. It's the small, cutting remarks that chip away at your self-worth, the snide comments, the passive tone that says more than words, wounding you in ways only God can heal. It's them making you feel not enough, no matter how hard you try, making you feel small before God's greatness in you, like a flower trampled underfoot when he meant you to bloom. That's the most dangerous betrayal because it's subtle, leaving scars no one sees but God feels, scars that dim the radiance he created you to shine, that obscure the purpose he's calling you to. When someone disrespects you, they don't value your time, your effort, your love, or your God-given presence. They take you for granted, expecting you to keep giving, sacrificing, tolerating behavior beneath your divine worth, as if God didn't call you to stand tall in his image. Every time you accept it, you tell them it's okay to treat you less than God intends, to trample the dignity he bestowed, to dim the light he placed in you. But you deserve better, far better, my friend. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18 confirms, "Do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against anyone among your people, but love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord." God calls you to love yourself as he loves you, to stand firm in your worth, to refuse anything less than the respect he commands. Don't settle for less. Disrespect is also a betrayal of equality, the balance God designed for relationships. In a God-honoring bond, both stand on equal footing with mutual respect for each other's worth, reflecting the unity he desires, the harmony he juts her. But disrespect says they're superior, entitled to treat you however they wish, to make decisions for you, to tell you how to feel, to make you doubt your value in God's eyes, as if you're not a co-heir of his grace. They criticize you in public, put you down in private, make you feel never good enough, like a candle flickering in a storm when God meant you to burn bright. And they'll do it again because they know they can, breaking you down to build themselves up. While you wonder how you let it happen, how you drifted from God's truth about who you are. What's your name, my friend? What's pulling at your heart today? Are you tolerating disrespect that God never intended for you, words or actions that make you feel less than His masterpiece? This is your moment to decide, will you let it continue or will you draw a line in the sand, saying, enough is enough, with God as your strength? Allowing disrespect makes you lose a piece of yourself, believing you're not worthy of better, dimming the light God placed in you to shine for His glory. But you are worthy of dignity, of being heard, valued, respected in God's sight. You're not here to be anyone's emotional or mental punching bag, to bear the weight of their disdain. You're here to shine, to stand tall, to demand the respect God created you for, to walk boldly in His purpose with confidence unshaken. Disrespect is a slow burn, eating away at your confidence, trust, and self-worth like a fire smoldering in your soul, threatening to consume the joy God planted. It makes you question your value, wonder if you're as important as God says you are in His word. But you are more than enough. No one has the right to make you feel otherwise, to steal the joy He destined for you. Allowing disrespect erodes trust in yourself, your ability to judge character, your intuition guided by the Spirit. You start accepting less than God's best, trapped in a cycle of diminishment, believing this is all you deserve. But you can break free, my friend. Reclaim your power in God's name. Stand firm in His truth. Stop tolerating behavior that diminishes your divine value. When you stop accepting disrespect, you begin to heal, rebuilding the relationship with yourself that says, I am worthy of God's love, respect, and kindness. That's when change happens. You become stronger, more confident, able to walk away from what drags you down, rooted in God's unshakable truth. You become someone who knows their worth in His eyes and refuses to let anyone take it away. A warrior clothed in His armor. If you're in a relationship where disrespect reigns, walk away with your head high, knowing God has more for you, a plan, a purpose, a love that lifts you up, that reflects His heart. You deserve to be loved in a way that makes you feel safe, appreciated, cherished, a love that honors the masterpiece He created in you, that lets your light shine undimmed. You're not a doormat, you're a child of God, called to be celebrated, respected, and live a life that reflects the love you've given. Don't settle for less. You deserve the world God promised, a world where your soul flourishes in His grace. Few pains cut deeper than being abandoned by someone you trusted, loved, thought would stand by you through anything. My friend, it's a wound that slices through your soul like a cold wind through a barren field. Abandonment isn't just someone walking away physically, it's them giving up on you, leaving you stranded in your darkest hour, making you feel you weren't worth the fight, like a ship left adrift in a storm with no anchor, no harbor in sight. It's a betrayal that scars your soul, but God's healing touch can restore you. His presence, an anchor that never fails, a refuge that never falters. When we build relationships, whether with a partner, friend, or family, we build them on the unspoken promise sealed by God that we'll stand together through storms, struggles, endless nights when the world feels heavy, when the weight of life threatens to crush you. We believe we're not alone, that God's love binds us, that His strength holds us together. Yet some prove their loyalty is conditional, staying when it's easy, when it benefits them. But when life demands sacrifice, they vanish without looking back, leaving you in the wreckage of their absence, ignoring God's call to bear one another's burdens. Galatians 6:2. They promised to always be there, but when you needed them most, they disappeared without explanation, without a fight, without closure, like a door slammed shut on your heart, locking you out of the love you thought was secure. They left you drowning, gasping for air, while they found safety, never reaching back to pull you out, turning their back on God's command to stand firm in love. They convinced you that you mattered, only to walk away as if you never did, as if your heart wasn't worth fighting for, as if your soul wasn't worth their time. The worst part, It leaves a wound whispering lies. You weren't enough, not worth staying for, not worth loving. Those lies sink deep like thorns in your soul, piercing your confidence, making you fear trusting again, opening your heart, believing in promises, because the last time nearly destroyed you. But hear me, you are never the problem. Their choice to leave reflects their heart, not your worth in God's eyes. Deuteronomy chapter 31 verse 6 declares, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." God's promise is your anchor, your rock, your unshakable foundation. He never abandons you, even when others do. Real love, real friendship, real loyalty doesn't run at trouble's first sign. It endures, fights, refuses to leave, reflecting God's steadfast love that never wavers, never falters. If someone couldn't do that, they weren't meant for your future, weren't part of the story God's writing for you, the destiny He's weaving. They were a lesson in strength, resilience, standing on your own with God's hand holding you, guiding you through the valley of pain. The pain doesn't vanish, it's the nights crying, feeling alone in a crowded room, screaming, "Why wasn't I enough?" It's the moments you replay in your mind, wondering what you could have done differently, what you could have said to make them stay. You gave them your heart, time, trust, and they left you with questions, with wounds only God can heal, with a void only His presence can fill. I've been there, my friend, years ago. Someone I loved like family walked away when I needed them most. I was at my lowest, battling doubts, fighting to keep my head above water, and they were gone like a shadow vanishing in the sun. It hurt, made me question my worth, but God showed me something. Their absence wasn't my failure, it was their choice, and His presence was enough. He carried me through, and He's carrying you now. What's your name, my friend? What storm are you facing today? What absence is weighing on your heart? God's calling you to release it, to rise above it, to let go of those who left you behind. If someone abandoned you, don't chase them. Don't beg for answers. Don't waste another second wondering why they left. Anyone who leaves so easily wasn't meant for you, wasn't part of the destiny God's crafting. The people meant for you won't run, they'll stand through chaos, storms, moments you feel unworthy, because real love doesn't abandon, it reflects God's faithfulness. A love that endures all things, that holds fast like an anchor in the fiercest storm. If you're healing, feeling their absence, picking up your heart's pieces, know this: their departure was your gain. It cleared space for something better, stronger, real, a love aligned with God's plan, a bond that reflects His heart. You'll love again, trust again, build greater than what you lost, with God as your foundation, His word as your guide. The next time someone promises to stay, you'll discern empty words from God's true commitment, because you've walked through the fire and come out stronger. Stand tall, hold your head high, you'll never abandon yourself, because God never will. His love is your strength, your refuge, your promise of a brighter tomorrow, a future where you flourish in His grace. There's a betrayal that hides behind smiles, walking beside you in silence, pretending to celebrate while secretly hoping you fall. My friend, it's a shadow that darkens your light. It's the betrayal of envy, and it's dangerous, a poison that festers in the hearts of those you trust, a venom that seeks to dim the glory God placed in you. It's not loud like deception, obvious like infidelity, or announced like abandonment. It creeps in slowly, like a shadow over your soul, from those you least expect, those who claim to love you, support you, stand with you, but can't stand to see you rise in God's blessings. Envy is a venom, infecting those close to you, and they won't show it outright. They'll laugh, shake your hand, show up at your celebrations, but something's off, like a note out of tune in a symphony. You sense it in their eyes when you share good news, a flicker of resentment where joy should be. You hear it in the emptiness of their compliments, the hesitation before they congratulate you, as if your success stings their soul, as if God's favor on you is a threat to them. If you ignore it, you'll notice the sabotage, subtle ways they pull you down, discouragement disguised as advice, jabs at dreams, doubts they plant in your mind, defying God's call to rejoice with those who rejoice. Romans 12:15. People who truly love you don't get bitter when you succeed. They don't go silent when you win. Don't treat you differently when God blesses you with abundance. Real friends, family, partners celebrate with you, lift you up, take joy in your joy, reflecting God's heart of love, His desire for unity and mutual encouragement. But an envious person can't stand your shine. Every step forward reminds them of their stagnation. Every victory makes them feel smaller, like a candle jealous of a bonfire. Instead of letting it motivate them to seek God's purpose for their own life, they resent you betraying His call to love without envy, to build each other up in His grace. Galatians chapter 5 verse 26 warns, "Let us not become conceited, provoking and envying each other." Envy makes them compete when you never signed up for a race, wish failure on you despite your support, act like they love you while waiting for your fall, like vultures circling over the blessings God poured into your life. This betrayal comes from those you let close friends, family, partners who smile while hoping you don't outshine them, who can't bear see God's favor on you as if your light diminishes theirs. You feel it, don't you? That promotion when they went quiet, that love you found when they grew distant, that big win when their backhanded comments stung like a thorn, piercing the joy God intended. That's envy, not your imagination, a betrayal that undermines the purpose He's calling you to. It's dangerous because envious people won't just watch you win, they'll try to pull you down, talking behind your back, planting seeds of doubt, belittling your success, making you feel guilty for God's blessings, as if you don't deserve what He's given. If they're desperate, they'll sabotage you in ways you never saw coming, like a snake in the grass striking at your heels, seeking to trip you up on the path God's laid before you. I've seen it myself, my friend, someone I thought was in my corner cheering me on, but their heart was poisoned by envy. When I started to rise, to step into what God called me to, their smiles faded, their words turned sharp, their support became a mask. It hurt, but it taught me envy reveals the heart. God showed me who was truly for me, and He'll show you too. What's your name, my friend? What dreams has God placed in your heart? Are you dimming them to please others, to avoid their envy? Are you shrinking your light to make someone else comfortable? Don't ignore the signs God's calling you to see clearly, to guard your heart against those who resent His blessings. Don't keep people around just because of history or past loyalty. Envy changes people, twisting their hearts against God's plan for you. If you're not careful, you'll stand in your God-given success, wondering why you feel alone, only to see those you trusted hoped you'd fail. Their hearts poisoned by envy, their actions a betrayal of God's call to love. Distance yourself, my friend. Stop seeking their approval. Stop shrinking to make them comfortable. Your success isn't their burden, it's God's gift to you. A testament to His faithfulness. A reflection of His glory in your life. You've worked, sacrificed, pushed through pain they don't know, all while seeking God's purpose. Don't let their envy steal what He blessed. Don't let their darkness dim the light He placed in you to shine for His glory. Envy's pain is a gift. It reveals who belongs in your circle, who's truly for you, who you can trust in God's plan. Trust is priceless, a treasure He calls us to guard, a bond that reflects His faithfulness. If you sense someone doesn't want your best, believe it. Don't wait for them to prove it in the worst way. Walk away. Keep rising. Keep succeeding. Surround yourself with those who celebrate your greatness, who reflect God's joy in your victories, because real love, real friendship, real loyalty doesn't envy, it lifts you up in the light of His love. It rejoices in the purpose He's unfolding in you. There's a betrayal so insidious it doesn't just break trust, it makes you question your reality, your God-given clarity, your very identity in Him, my friend. It's emotional manipulation, and if you felt it, you know how deep it cuts. Like a knife twisting slowly in your soul, draining the light God placed within you. It doesn't happen at once, it unfolds gradually, wrapping around you like a vine, tightening until you look in the mirror and don't recognize the person God created, the child He called by name. Manipulators don't use force, they use whispers, twisted truths, carefully chosen words to defy God's truth, to dim the radiance He destined for you. They don't push you away outright. They make you feel walking away is wrong, trapping you in their web, chaining you to their control. They plant insecurity, making you question everything: your emotions, your instincts, your worth in God's eyes, the purpose He's calling you to embrace. At first, they seem to care, claiming they want what's best, cloaking their control in love, wrapping their poison in sweet words. I'm only saying this because I love you. Why are you upset? I was joking. You're too sensitive. You overreact. Sound familiar? That's how it starts: questioning your emotions, twisting your words, turning your pain into overreaction, your instincts into paranoia, your boundaries into selfishness, all while God calls you to stand firm in His truth, to hold fast to the clarity He's given you. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 25 states, "Therefore each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to your neighbor, for we are all members of one body." Manipulation defies this, chaining you to doubt, making you apologize for things not your fault, feel guilty for wanting the respect God says you deserve, all while He's calling you to reclaim your voice, to stand tall in His purpose. You love this person, partner, friend, family. You trusted them, let them in, wanting to believe they don't mean harm, that they're walking with you in God's light. So you give chances, ignoring the sinking feeling in your gut, the exhaustion in your soul, the way your spirit breaks with every interaction, as if your heart is being drained of the joy God intended. That's emotional manipulation, a violation of self, turning your love into a leash, your loyalty into chains to someone who drains you, who dishonors the heart God gave you, who defies His call to love one another deeply. From the heart, 1 Peter 1:22. They don't want you to leave, they want you doubting, needing them, bending to their will, trapped in a cycle that dims your divine purpose, that pulls you away from God's plan. Real love isn't a battlefield of confusion. My friend, it doesn't leave you exhausted, guilty, empty, questioning God's design for you. It doesn't manipulate to control, make you small to lift them up, or use your love as a weapon to keep you bound. Manipulators gaslight, guilt trip, play the victim, making you feel like you're hurting them when it's the other way around, twisting reality to keep you tethered. When you try to leave, they pull their final trick, begging, crying, promising change, reminding you of good times, of laughter, of love, all to pull you back into their cycle. If you're not careful, you'll believe them and the cycle restarts, pulling you further from God's peace, further from the freedom He's calling you to. But you don't owe anyone your peace, your God-given clarity, your divine worth. If someone makes you doubt your mind, that's not love, it's control. A betrayal of the freedom God intends for you, a defiance of call to live in truth. What's weighing on you today, my friend? Are you walking on eggshells, feeling dismissed, apologizing when you've done nothing wrong? Are you questioning your own heart because someone's twisting your reality? Pay attention, God's calling you to see clearly, to break free from the chains of manipulation. That's not a relationship, not friendship, it's manipulation. A chain you must break in His name. The hardest part is they've convinced you you need them, that you'll be lost without them, that no one else will love you the way they do. But that's a lie from the enemy, designed to keep you from God's truth. The moment you choose yourself, say enough, and step away, you'll see your strength, the peace God has waiting, the purpose He's calling you to. Real love frees, builds, honors you, reflecting God's heart, lifting you up in His light. Let them go. Let the guilt go. Let the confusion go. Walk away, knowing true love doesn't manipulate, it restores, it heals. It aligns with the freedom God promises. There's a betrayal deeper than any lie, deception, or weakness, its repeated behavior. The relentless pattern of broken promises, the cycle of disappointment, wounds reopen time and again, like a cut that never heals. A wound that festers with every new blow. This isn't a mistake, it's a choice, a conscious decision to keep hurting you, disrespecting you, taking your love, trust, forgiveness for granted, defying God's call to change and walk in righteousness. At first, you think it's a misunderstanding, a one-time slip. Maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe they'll change, you tell yourself, holding on to hope in God's redemption, believing they'll see the light of His truth. You give them the benefit, listen to their apologies, their excuses, their promises it won't happen again, clinging to the possibility that they'll honor God's call to transformation. For a moment, it feels different. They act better, say the right things, make an effort, like a flicker of light in a dark tunnel. But just when you trust again, they do it again. And again. And again, each betrayal a blow to the heart God crafted, a wound that deepens with every repetition. You're left confused, hurt, angry, asking, why would someone who loves me keep breaking me? Why swear they've changed, then do the same thing, defying God's call to integrity, to repentance? It's not a mistake if they keep making it. It's not a slip-up if they refuse to change. People reveal who they are through patterns, not words or apologies, not grand gestures after they've hurt you. When someone betrays you repeatedly, they're saying, this is who I am. I won't stop, ignoring God's command to walk in truth, to turn from evil and do good. Psalm 34:14. 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 19 warns, they promise them freedom, while they themselves are slaves of depravity, for people are slaves to whatever has mastered them. Their repeated betrayal is their bondage, not your burden, a chain they've chosen over God's freedom. It's not just the betrayal, it's the exhaustion, the emotional drain, the erosion of your God-given worth, like a rare wearing down a stone, threatening to erode the foundation God built in you. Tolerating it makes you believe this is all you deserve, that this cycle is normal, that pain is part of love, that you're asking too much by expecting respect. You think you're the problem, expecting too much, needing to be patient, accepting less than God's best, as if His plan for you includes suffering at their hands. But love isn't a battlefield for the bare minimum. It's meant to make you feel safe, valued, honored, reflecting God's heart. His call to love one another as I have loved you. John 13:34. True love shows change, takes accountability, ensures hurt doesn't repeat, honoring the redemption God offers. Those who keep betraying aren't sorry, they're sorry they got caught. Not sorry enough to change, not sorry enough to seek God's transformation, to walk in His righteousness. What's holding you back, my friend? Are you stuck in this cycle, carrying wounds that won't heal because they keep being reopened? What's the promise you're holding on to that's keeping you chained? God's calling you to break free, to choose His peace over their empty words, to stand firm in the worth He gave you. Every time you forgive without change, you teach them their behavior has no consequences, that they can hurt you and keep you without cost, that they can defy God's call without accountability. But when you decide you've had enough, when you choose yourself over their broken promises, you break the cycle in God's name. You take back your power, rooted in His strength, standing tall in the worth He declared over you. No matter how much you love them, how much history you share, you can't keep setting yourself on fire to keep them warm. Can't keep sacrificing your peace for their comfort. Can't keep giving your heart to someone who refuses to honor God's plan for it. Let them go, my friend. Some won't change, not because they can't, but because they don't want to, knowing you'll forgive, knowing you'll stay, knowing they'll never lose you. But the moment you value your peace, your self-respect, you set yourself free, walking in the freedom God promises, the peace that surpasses understanding. Philippians 4:7. Real love doesn't break you repeatedly, it lifts you, honors you, reflects God's unchanging heart, His steadfast commitment to your flourishing. Choose His love, choose His purpose. Choose the life He's calling you to, a life where you shine unhindered by those who refuse to change. These 7 betrayals: deception, infidelity, disrespect, abandonment, envy, emotional manipulation, repeated behavior aren't just incidents, my friend. They're revelations, exposing the true nature of those who commit them, their lack of regard for your God-given worth, their defiance of His call to love and honor you. You can't keep investing in relationships that tear you down, no matter how much love, hope, or prayer you've poured in, no matter how many tears you've cried asking God to change their heart. Real love, true respect, true loyalty, rooted in God's truth, never causes pain or makes you question your worth. It lifts you up, reflects the heart of the Father who created you, who calls you his own. You're worthy of relationships that celebrate your existence, honor your boundaries, make you feel safe, cherished, respected, a love that mirrors God's unending faithfulness, that lets your light shine for his glory. This starts with you, my friend. What's your name? What's God whispering to your heart today? What's the burden you're carrying that's keeping you from his freedom? What lie is holding you back from the purpose he's calling you to? Decide you'll no longer tolerate mistreatment. No longer let betrayal dim the light he placed in you. There's strength in walking away from those who fail to see your value in God's eyes, who dishonor the purpose he's crafting, who refuse to walk in his truth. You don't need to beg for respect or fight for love. You're worthy of dignity, of a love that reflects his heart, that honors the masterpiece he created. Letting go isn't bitterness, it's self-preservation, reclaiming the peace God promises, standing firm in the truth that you are enough, exactly as he made you, fearfully and wonderfully crafted for his glory. Your love isn't a currency to be used or abused, it's a gift, a reflection of God's love, meant to be cherished, not trampled. Protect your heart, stand firm in your boundaries, embrace the beautiful life God has waiting when you let go of those who don't deserve you, who don't honor his plan. Don't fear walking away. End the cycle. Choose God's peace over betrayal's chaos. You have the strength, courage, wisdom to move forward, guided by his hand, upheld by his promises. Your story isn't over. There are people who love you as God intended, without betrayal, manipulation, or compromise. People who walk beside you in his light, who will celebrate the masterpiece you are. Drop amen. In the comments, declare God's victory over your life. Proclaim his promise over your future. Share your testimony, your pain, your triumph. Let's build a community of faith, lifting each other up in God's love, standing together in his truth. Who in your life needs this message? Pass it on, spread his hope, be a beacon of his light. Keep rising, keep shining, keep walking in his purpose, because you are a masterpiece, created for greatness, destined for a life that reflects his glory. Thank you, and God bless you. As Psalm chapter 30 verse 5 proclaims, weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning.